What's the point? That's what we're asking today in this video. What's the point of homeschool? Now, I don't mean what's the use. By what's the point, I mean what's the goal? Towards what are we working so hard? Welcome back to my homeschool room. In order to answer the question, what's the point of homeschool? First, we have to think of, well, what's the point of public school? Towards what goal is public school working? Well, when I was in public school, the thing that worried me most were my tests. To get a good grade on my test. It didn't matter if I really learned the information. It didn't matter if a year later I could tell you what I learned. All that mattered was, what grade did I get on that test? Public school is not about learning and retaining information. It's about memorization and regurgitation of information onto a test. A popular motto here in the US is knowledge is power. But how does the school system really help us with that? We go to school each day, the teacher stands in front and teaches us lots of information, but how much of that is the student really learning? To say that knowledge is power. I read an article by Matt Bingham from 2017 that says, cognitive science says that to actually learn something, the brain must build upon existing knowledge, flag it as important, and reuse the information enough to deem it worthy of its efforts. So what does that mean? It means that if you don't think that the information is important, then you won't really learn it. There are many popular statistics that many of us have heard about information retention. For example, after 1 hour, people retain less than half of the information presented. After 1 day, you retain less than 30%. After 6 days, people forget more than 75% of what they supposedly learned. But other than tests, what does public school try to teach? Well, it tries to teach social norms, social interaction. It wants the students to be well-rounded citizens. But let me present a theory. Shouldn't that happen at home? Isn't that what parenting is? So, how is homeschool different? What is the point of homeschool? If it's not about the tests, and it's not about the social interactions, or lack thereof, what's the point? The point of homeschool, in my opinion, is to create learners. Not just students that we teach information to, but students who learn to learn. It's not about knowing the difference between a cirrus cloud and a cumulus cloud, or knowing all the dates of all the battles of the Revolutionary War. It's not about memorizing facts and data points. It's about creating a thirst for learning and to develop the ability to attain knowledge and wisdom. So what is knowledge and what is wisdom? Aren't they the same things? Well, I read a quote once that I really liked that described it like this. Knowledge is knowing how to use a gun. Wisdom is knowing when to use it and when to keep it holstered. So then the question becomes, if the point of homeschool is to create a learner, how do I do that? Well, here are some suggestions on how to create a learner. Suggestion number 1, encourage the child to pursue their interests. If you see that your child enjoys something, have them pursue that. Learning is everywhere. Learning is not only in a textbook. Learning is not only in any type of book. Learning can be hands-on. Learning can be discovering and experiencing new things. Learning is everywhere. And if a child enjoys it, like the quote I read earlier says, if they deem the information important, they will therefore retain that information. Suggestion number 2, teach dedication and diligence. A child won't enjoy every single subject. Each student will have their preferred classes. Each student will have their preferred books or way of learning. They won't enjoy everything. But if you teach them to be dedicated and diligent, even in the classes that they don't like, it's a skill that they are learning now that they might use in the future. Suggestion number 3, Plant a love for reading in your child. Any child who loves to read can learn anything. Go to a library and just walk in and see the thousands upon thousands of books. Many are nonfiction, and you can learn so many things. You can learn trades, you can learn history, science, math, how to write. If a child loves to read, the sky is the limit in what they can learn. Suggestion number 4, give them the tools to reason for themselves and to search for truth. In an age that truth is scarce, tools to search for truth are necessary. If we teach our children how to discern between truth and lie, learning will be so much easier for them. The internet, probably more than half, maybe a lot more than half, of what we find online is either opinion or complete lies. In this day and age, what we need most is to learn how to discern between truth and lies. If we teach our children how to reason for themselves, how to think, how to sift through information to find out what is real, the effort to seek out truth will trigger the brain to flag the information as important enough to retain. It will deem it worthy of the effort. If we teach our children to be learners and not just to have the information for a moment, to get through a test, to get a grade, to finish the year, if we teach them to learn, it's a skill that they can use all through life. It's not something that ends at high school. It's not something that ends at college or at your master's degree or your doctor's degree. It's a life skill. And in my opinion, that's the point of homeschool. So thanks so much for joining me here in my homeschool room. I'll see you next time. Bye.